my most recent rewatch, I kept thinking to myself, this movie would be better if Lucas Boswell. Oh my God, is it Sean or Lucas?
No,
I can't
wait,
remember.
no, his last name's Lucas.
His last name's Lucas. Okay.
Yeah, no, so it's Sean Boswell is the character's name, and then
Okay.
the kid's name is Lucas Black.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
If Boswell was older, it's like we went through two movies with adults, and then we went to a movie with a 16-year-old as a protagonist. Like if he was 18, I think I may have been a little bit more into this.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Okay. Yeah, I can get that.
Han. Can we start a Han chant? Or can we save that for later?
We'll save that for your birthday, bro.
Oh my God. Please. Guys, Megan, make it happen. It's coming up soon. So we have number
Megan, get on.
No pressure.
So we have number 6, which I can't wait to hear a certain someone talk about this. But number 6 is Fast and Furious. It was released in 2009, directed by Justin Lin. Wait, what?
Fast and Furious.
Oh, Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
it was.
It was Fast and Furious.
I mean, they go through the same tunnel twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they got 29%, 6.6 IMDb, and it has 23 points. And it made, get ready for this, 195 million domestic, but this is the big kicker right here. 451 million worldwide.
That's almost $1 billion.
That's close to almost $500 million.
We would be the worst bankers.
Is this the lowest rated one?
Yes, and it has the lowest tomato meter score, but it has Too Fast, Too Furious has the lowest IMDb score. So
whatever.
Adam.
Dr. Brothers, here we go.
You put this as number 1. So we have
one.
a 6, a 1, a 9, and a 7 on here, and you put it at number 1. And no, there's no judgment here. I watched it again, and I
feel like I'm being judged.
No, I watched it again, and this is a safe space, and I really enjoyed it. I liked that they all got brought back together again. I don't know. I mean, Braga's not that strong of a villain, but I like the idea of him. I like Gal Gadot. I like the initial race to get into it. I liked all the cops that worked with Brian. I liked the headbutt in it. So I dug it. So like, this is your number 1. This is your favorite Fast movie.
Favorite Fast movie.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Again, I think you kind of summed up all the things I liked about it, but I love being part of a team. The idea of being a part of a group. And the Fast movies were good up until this, but they were all over the place. And this was the movie that like brought everything together. It was the glue that brought Han in, and it brought Dom back, and it really felt like this was the birth of the team.
Wow.
And the first movie, it was like Dom had his boys, but they were not a team. It was a real like kind of pissing match sometimes, and it's like he gives Brian Vince's Corona to show he's like jockeying for position of like who's the most manly. And this was the movie where it's like, okay, we're back together, we're on the same page, and then it just blasted off. So I love that whole idea of getting the band back together.
Listen, this movie had Shea Wiggum, so it can't be all bad.
Shea Butter.
And how sweet was like Rebel Agent Brian at the beginning.
Yeah, I like it, and I like all the speeches.
Like all those shenanigans were fantastic.
And did you like the speeches that they made in this when they kept saying you're this close to being good or bad? So you make one decision, and who are you? Who are you going to be? And then Brian finally kind of makes the heel decision at the end to wipe out a bus, but he's kind of always close to being that person, right? Which I really liked about him.
This also has my favorite car of any Fast movies in it.
Which one's that?
It's the Trans Am at the end, the black Trans Am.
Oh yeah, that one's sweet.
It's the Smokey and the Bandit car.
Really?
They did like a cameo of the Smokey and the Bandit 77 Trans Am.
Oh my goodness.
So to play Devil's, I don't know, Motorola, or no, Devil's Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
Wait,
I like that.
I was like, his cell phone. That's interesting.
My words are tongue-tied today.
Yeah, so are mine.
So some of the things I think is weak about this film is that Phoenix is sort of nobody. He just exists to have Dom chase him. He doesn't have a personality, which if I have a villain, I really want the villain to have a personality and want the villain to struggle, the hero to struggle against that villain.
Yeah.
I was no point. I was like, of course Dom's going to win. Are you kidding me? I thought the final chase scene at the end was also kind of weak compared to everything else that came after it.
The tunnel stuff was brutal.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a very 90s video game.
Yeah.
Because they go through it twice.
Yeah.
And this is the final point, and this really isn't that much, but I feel like Brian being an FBI agent is a huge plot hole. Like, why would they let him be an FBI agent other than that's how they get Fast and Furious 4 made?
I think it's a real catch me if you can situation where it's like he knows the most about the underground because he's been there. And so he's, the devil you know is better than the devil that you don't. So he's, he's got to do something.
And this movie features a truck driver with an iguana.
So we talked about this, Mark.
Yes.
But you want to do it
At the barbecue.
Yeah, so you'll be able to look up, if you go to Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook, or if you go to the podcast, we recorded a live barbecue on Skype on video, so you can watch us talk about our favorite characters. But there is a truck driver in the beginning of this film who has to protect his iguana. And when he's getting robbed by Dom and crew, he jumps out of that truck, but he protects his iguana. So I really respect that guy. And plus, he's a good truck driver driving through all those roads. I love this dude.
Listen, pets are family.
Yeah.
Life on the open road's lonely.
And that's his family.
Yeah, these movies are about family.
Yeah.
I want to get an iguana and name it La Familia.
Oh, that's perfect.
But is it in Italian with a G?
Yes.
Perfect.
It has to be. It has to be, Megan.
Can you name him Boswell?
Familia Toretto.
I'm going to get a turtle named Boswell. And he'll hang out with the iguana.
Oh, it could be a box turtle.
Oh, yeah. Like a little Boxster car. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll cover 5 through 1. How's that sound?
I'm so excited about it.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And yes, I nailed that welcome back from break. But I didn't nail that. So while saying that I got us back from break, accidentally I messed that up. Which, that works well. I mean, what would Boswell do? That's what I say.
But did you cartoon it?
Yeah. So I basically Boswelled it when he first got to Japan and did that first race with Han's car, and he wrecks it. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay back for that.
10-minute car.
He's so confident, though. Can I say, he's the character I'm most excited about seeing again in Fast 9.
Oh, I can't wait. Dude's so cool.
That's what sold me the ticket.
30-year-old playing a 19-year-old?
Wait,
Yeah.
Sean Boswell?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, wait, Boswell is back. Yes!
Boswell's
I'm stoked
back.
for it,
That
too.
sounds like the name of a spin-off.
Boswell's back.
All right.
So, hey, we just nailed that. The harmonics.
Perfect harmony. It's perfect harmony.
All right, so we're back with number 5, and it's 2015's Furious 7, directed by James Wan. Highest rated, 81%, 7.2 IMDb score. And guys, get ready for this. This is a huge number. It made $1.65 billion worldwide, so close to $2 billion.
That's nearly $2 billion.
Yeah, it's nearly. If you round it up, it would be 1.7, and if you rounded 7 up, that'd be 10. So then you got 2. Does that make sense?
10-4.
1.6 billion worldwide, but Furious 7. I mean, this movie, this was essentially an Avengers film. I mean, this did Avengers level box office. This did Star Wars level box office. And
So this was the movie where I knew that the series wasn't going anywhere. It had done things that other movie franchises haven't done. Because I went into work one day, and the secretary from our church, who was an older lady but super nice, she was like, "Oh, my husband and I are going to see the new Fast and the Furious tonight." And I was like, "Oh, it's happened! It's happened!"
Aw, that's like calling it the Facebook when you were still refer to them as the Fast and the Furious.
I mean,
Right?
Throwback.
such a gigantic movie. I mean, just the budgets, and obviously it had the tragedy attached to it, but I mean, jumping through buildings, destroying terracotta warriors. I mean, just bringing in Jason Statham. So
We get Ramsey.
Ramsey, she's still around. Nathalie Emmanuel, but they brought in
Bus heist.
and they had Tony Jaa. We just keep saying names. But the one thing I don't get about this is they brought in Kurt Russell too. But the God's Eye is they use the God's Eye to capture Jason Statham, but Jason Statham just always finds them.
He has wanted to be a part of their crew. That's what's really going on here.
Stop following us.
It's all an interview to be part of the Fast and the Furious.
Oh my
I
goodness.
want to see a re-edited scene of Dom and Statham, but like Hot Rod, where it's like, whoa, you can't just join our crew.
Cool beans.
And then he's like pours a slushie on his foot. He's like, okay, you're in.
What if they, instead of having a fight on a crashing parking garage where they hit each other with iron poles, they fight in a basement, like
Yeah.
Hot Rod and Frank did in Hot Rod?
With tandoori fighting sticks?
Yes.
So I think I have mine rated number 1 on my list.
That's number 1.
Really?
Yeah, so we have a 1586.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
all over the
so-
spectrum.
Yeah, let's hear it. This is number 1. I got to hear this.
I love this so much. Okay, so I saw this movie and it blew my freaking mind. And I may have said this previously on one of the other podcasts I've done with you, but there's only a couple different times in movies that I remember just absolutely freaking out. And this was the car jump scene when it went from one skyscraper to the next. And I was like, can't get any better. No, they did it again. But the things I love about this movie, the car drop when they're jumping out of the airplane and Roman freaking out, so funny. The skyscraper jump is probably my favorite action setup I've seen in any movie. Mr. Nobody is very funny. Jason Statham, who is one of my favorite actors, The Rock is also in this movie. But I think what makes this really exceptional is they take everything that happened in 6, which you're like, how can this get any better? And then they get better, which it blows my mind that there is even more things they can do, which I guess made number 8 sort of a letdown, even though it's not a bad movie, because they didn't reach the same heights as number 7.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, with cars, at least.
They're gonna need to take these movies to space with Tom Cruise.
They
No,
have to. They
Galaxy
have to.
Quest.
Yeah, Mark really is pushing hard for the Galaxy Quest crossover.
And I love the Belgian beer in this. I love that they have a random bucket of Corona. I love that Vin Diesel and Jason Statham are so tough that they drive their cars at each other at 80 miles an hour, crash, walk out, then have a fist fight.
This film feels like this is when it said, screw gravity. Like, I know they said
Yeah, this is the one that jumped the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm going to do whatever I want and you're going to eat it up because this is what you're here to see. And they were absolutely right.
So I always say that this is the one that jumped the shark but stuck the landing,
That's really good.
The triple Lindy.
right? But also, why it's so low on my list is that you're right. It has all these action spots and whatever, but it's like, and for me, it was the head-on collision between Statham and Dom, where they're like, we just don't care anymore. But it was like they understood that they were indestructible. There was no like caution anymore. And they just went 100 miles an hour with like reckless, not even reckless abandon, just like full confidence that I'm going to jump this car from one skyscraper to another and then again, and we'll be fine. It's no problem. I've got a baby on the way. It's going to be fine.
Hobbs times an ambulance perfectly to drive off of an overpass and onto a drone that is
Right.
flying around. I mean, the timing involved. And then he takes the gun off the drone and shoots it. But then Dom ramps a car and puts grenades on it, and then he blows it up.
As you do.
That's amazing. I
This
love your
movie's what
laughter.
happens-
I love your laughter, David. I can almost feel how happy you are talking
I
about
am.
this
I love
movie.
this movie.
This one had my favorite version of the 69 Dodge Charger, though. Like the monster trucky one that they made up for him.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite of the Dom's Chargers.
Why didn't he wear a helmet? That's the question I've always asked myself. Oh, Ramsey can wear a helmet, but me, I don't wear helmets. I'm a man.
Well, because he knows that nothing will hurt him. Nothing can penetrate his skin.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the characters are aware of the movie that they're in.
Yeah, it's almost like this is the Deadpool Fast movie. They get it.
Oh, well then it makes sense that they brought Ryan Reynolds in.
I have two interesting things for you guys. So they filmed they filmed in Atlanta, and they filmed at the same place where Avengers Endgame filmed one of their scenes. So they're in the same world. Also, it's a day.
Therefore, they're in the same world.
Let's leave that there. Just think about it. There, on the day of on Megan's and my wedding, I got a text message. And I worked in the Atlanta film industry for a long time, worked with a lot of people, and they sent me a text like, hey, Mark, you want to come work on Fast 7? I was like, well, I'd love to, but I'm getting married.